Greetings, as usual, from the bowels of London Library. Welcome to week number 5. We're putting a bow on our resume and cover letter assignment. As hopefully all of you have seen, I was able to kind of extrapolate the primary themes or the primary things I was seeing in everybody's cover letters, and I sent out an email to all of you that really condensed that and synthesized that. I actually thought that'd be a more efficient use of everybody's time than providing individual feedback. I gave about 5 different tips that most people should be able to apply to their own cover letters, and so I want you to keep those things in mind and make those revisions as you see fit. And obviously, you have the opportunity to revise anything in the class if you are not satisfied with the grades. So as soon as I get those, I'll try to turn those around to you as quickly as possible, get you grades, even more feedback on those, and then you'll be able to, if you're so inclined, to revise those. But week 5 really represents a shift in a number of ways. One, we're going to shift into a new assignment, which I'll explain here in a second, but it also shifts the sort of pacing of the class. The first 4 weeks really are relatively slow in terms of our production of individual assignments and documents, but from here on out, we're really going to speed things up. So it takes us the first 4 weeks to really do one set of assignments, the resume and cover letter, and then in the ensuing 11 weeks, we're going to do 4 assignments. So you can do the math there that things really tend to speed up. And so just be prepared for that. What that means is that you're going to be doing a little bit more writing, a little bit less reading and reflecting, and so we're just going to be producing assignments, reviewing and revising those, and really what I'm going to try to do is give you the opportunity to write in a number of different formats for a number of different purposes. And that really starts this week with the technical review assignment. And so essentially what you're doing is you're writing a product review. I call it the technical review because there's a technical component to it. Anytime you're reviewing something, generally speaking, you're talking about its characteristics and its qualities and its performance. And so that can be a relatively technical matter, but at its heart and soul, this assignment is really a product review. And so one of the first things I always want you to do when you're given a new writing task is to ask yourself, well, what am I doing for my reader? How can I make this document or this writing task useful for my reader? And what are they trying to do with this document? And so if we really zoom out and ask ourselves that with each document, I think we're going to have a better chance of organizing it in intelligent ways, using the right language, and focusing on the right things in terms of our content. And so with a product review, we're really trying to help somebody make a consumer decision, okay? We consult reviews for any number of reasons. In the workplace, it could be to acquire a piece of real estate. It could be that we're reviewing an employee's performance. But generally speaking, we're using reviews to make decisions. Now, a product review is a very specific type of review or evaluation, and that's generally geared towards helping somebody make a consumer decision. They're trying to decide whether or not they want to acquire or purchase something. So I want you to keep that in the back of your mind, that ultimately that's your reader's goal or task. They're weighing the options, they're surveying the marketplace, and they're trying to make a decision. And so your document should be sort of driven by that spirit that you're trying to help somebody choose a product, basically. And I'm not going to put any parameters on what type of product you choose to review, but it should be something that you're very experienced with, that you have a lot of knowledge about. Shouldn't be something that you're just getting acquainted to, because it's hard to write a thorough and detailed review in the way that we need to. And so that's really your task over the next couple of weeks, is to really craft an effective product review. And so we're going to have to think about a number of different things while we do that. We're going to have to learn how to overcome specialized language. So when we start talking about products, take a computer, for instance, or a phone, or anything, a bow, a hunting bow. Wrapped up in these products are a lot of really technical things. There's engineering, there's materials, there's other physical characteristics that can become very technical. And so what we have to really practice then is making sure that our reader understands this. And that's really what this assignment is about. It's not only about being able to craft an effective review or to evaluate something in an intelligent and methodical way. It's also about being able to make things significant to non-experts. So one of the things that I hear a lot from employers is, so-and-so is a really great technician. They're very skilled technically, but when it comes to explaining what they're doing to a customer or a client, that's where they kind of leave something to be desired. And so this is really about this assignment is really about that. It's about being able to communicate your experiences with something relatively technical in a way that the average person can understand. So we're really going to focus on using plain and simple language. Just because something is technical by its very nature doesn't mean that it has to be communicated in a technical way, if that makes any sense at all. We can really, if we're skilled with language, and you're going to practice this week as you write definitions, if you're skilled with language and you're thoughtful about what a reader needs to know and how this particular topic intersects with a reader's life, you can make something very, very technical, very, very simple. So you can talk about the materials, the proprietary technology, the construction, the workmanship. You can talk about all of those things in very practical, very grounded ways without being too abstract, too theoretical, and or too technical. So we're going to have to really be in command of our language. The other thing that we're going to have to become skilled at is supporting claims with evidence. And so that's really at the heart and soul of a lot of persuasive writing, whether you're marketing something, evaluating something, trying to make a case for a change, maybe a policy or procedure. Really what a technical review or a product review is a series of claims that you're making about something. So you're going to make a series of claims about a product. You're going to say it's very durable, it's very affordable, it has poor battery life, it's not user-friendly. Those are all claims, and just in the same way that with your cover letter you were making claims about yourself, you're going to be making claims about this product, and ultimately those claims are only useful if you support them with evidence. And when we're writing our technical review, I want you to keep in mind that you have an array of different types of evidence that you can use to support those claims. And so the first and foremost, or the most obvious one, is you can reference the actual details or descriptions or the functionalities of the product. So you could make reference to things like, as I've mentioned, the materials or the product specifications or the proprietary technology or the construction or those types of things. So the physical characteristics of the thing. You could say, this pair of boots that I have were the most durable I've ever owned, and I think they were that durable because of this material or this technology or this piece of engineering. And so that's one source of evidence. The other source of evidence that we have is our personal experience. So how have you used this product? Under what conditions? How did it perform? So that's where you can share your own personal experience. You can use anecdotes. And you should be descriptive, okay? So if you've had a really good experience with a piece of equipment or a tool, explain what that looks like. So if you say something is really durable, explain how you know that. How do you know it's really durable? Has it been its performance in inclement weather? Has it been its performance despite use and abuse? Has it lasted a really long time? Take us into that and show us. It goes back to this idea of show, don't tell. Don't just tell me something is durable. Don't just tell me something is affordable. Show me those things, right? And the show part is really about evidence. And so, of course, we can use the physical characteristics, and of course, we can use our personal experience. And then the other really important type of evidence that we find, in particular when we're doing product reviews or evaluations or recommendation reports and those types of things, is comparisons. So we have the opportunity to really help the reader contextualize the performance of something or the usefulness of something by comparing it to other things. So if you say that the boots are really durable, not only can you talk about the physical characteristics of the boots, how they're put together, what they're made of, not only can you talk about how you've used them, under what conditions, but you can also compare them to other boots maybe that are similar or they're in the same class. And those three types of evidence taken together can really provide a lot of insight. So in the spirit of making this review ultimately useful to the reader, we want to make sure that we're providing really clear assessments of the product. We want to make sure we're providing really clear evidence. And we want to make sure that we're using really clear language. And so ultimately, you're going to have a chance this week to look at a couple of reviews. And so you should pay attention to what those reviews do particularly well. And you should try to emulate that in your own reviews. Because really this assignment is built on the back of the idea of usefulness. And so that's really something that I want you to always have coursing through your mind as you're writing is, how can I make this useful to the reader given their task? And in this instance, their task is to make a consumer decision. So if they're choosing a hunting bow, if they're choosing a pair of boots, if they're choosing a new tablet, what types of information do you need to put in front of them about your experience with that particular product? So keep those things in mind. And we're going to do this with other assignments too. After your technical review, you're going to be writing a set of instructions. And again, we're going to start with the idea of usefulness. What's the task, and how can you make that task or that process or that procedure as useful as possible? And so we'll continue to do this throughout the semester. But this should be a pretty fun assignment. I want you to write about something that you know well. I want you to share your experiences with it. And ultimately, I want you to provide an assessment of it. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to have a necessarily positive review. You could talk about a product that didn't work well. And you could analyze why it didn't work well and provide evidence of how it failed. And that happens all the time. We buy products or we have experiences with tools or pieces of equipment that fail our needs. And so I think being able to share that in an objective and clear and concise and concrete way with the reader is a really important skill. So we're really going to practice a number of really important things in this assignment. You're going to practice commanding language so that you're not using technical jargon. You're going to practice being useful and providing only the essential information, the most important information. You're going to practice supporting claims with evidence. You're probably going to continue to practice how you organize or structure a document so that it's ultimately useful. And we're going to start writing about something other than ourselves. So to this point in the semester, you've been writing about yourself. You've been sort of the technical product that you've been writing about, and you know it pretty well. And now we're going to write about something that's not you, an object in the world, a tool, a product, a piece of equipment, and it should represent a new set of challenges. And so we're going to take this over the next couple weeks. So week 5 and 6 will really be devoted to your technical reviews, and I really want you to study those sample reviews pretty closely because they both offer some really generative insight into how to craft a review that's useful and helpful, and that's also ultimately organized around the user or the reader's needs. So that's what we're up to this week, and if you have any questions or concerns, I'm always around to help. And have fun with this. Write about something that you really care about, and I think that you'll find it's really interesting. So for instance, if I were going to write this, I'd probably write about a fly rod or something like that, because it's something I know well, it's something I have a strong basis of comparison for, and it's something that I might want to share with somebody else. So good luck.